Welcome to Inferior Gaming, where we have to hit retry at least 3 times, and maybe this happened to me yesterday. I'm Caitlin.
I'm Alan.
What are you playing this week, Alan?
It's really been more than a week.
Yeah, I forgot. We're in the same decade, age-wise now.
Right, yeah.
Our ages both start with 4 now.
Congratulations.
I don't know, but my sister sent me a gift card in like an email, and with it she said, "Sorry about that, dude." And yes, I celebrated by going to stay in a cabin in the woods on the beach, because that's what happens here. You go to nature.
Right. So I've been trying out some different stuff on Game Pass because I own things and I play them, but I just constantly go after new things because I'm dumb.
You know what? I think for people who have been gaming for most of their lives and like have that nostalgia wrapped up with gaming, I think you're always kind of looking for that feeling again. So if what you're playing isn't giving you that, you're just trying to find it. You know what I mean? But there's no finding it because you're not 15 anymore.
Somewhat. I mean, some things will make you like lock in a way that's like, yes, wow, I'm in. But yeah, I was having a hard time because I was still trying to play that Avatar game. But I've never played a Far Cry game before, which it's just basically a modded Far Cry game. It's made by the same people and everything, and it's the same thing. So I just don't understand how to I want to do. Yeah, I have quests. I have a lot of quests. I want to do them, but I'm like, yes, track the quest. And then I look out there into the world and I see fucking nothing. I don't know how to do the quest. So I need to watch some tutorial videos or something that teach me how to work the game so I can do it. Cause I just go exploring, I'm just going out into the Avatar Pandora planet and getting fucking killed constantly because I'm level 2 and I go into a level 17 base and I'm dead. So that's not fun. I want to follow the story and get stronger, level up so I can do whatever I want, but I'm too dumb to figure out the interface. So yeah, I went and did some other stuff. I played a game called Sifu that's like a beat 'em up game that's made like a 1970s kung fu movie, basically. Mm-hmm. A lot of fun. The cool mechanic in this, it acknowledges when you die, which I always like. And so when you get killed in the game, it tells you oh, you've been killed once. And then you have these magical amulets or coins or something like that. And you have 5 of them. And it brings you back to life. As many times as you've died is how much your character ages. So
oh, okay, yeah.
You start out at age 20. If you die once, you're 21. If you die twice, now you're 23 because it's 21 plus 2.
Right.
And on and on. Once you hit 30, then one of your coin amulet things explodes and you can never use it again. And so when you get up to 70, which I very quickly did, you're very old. Your character moves more slowly, but they augment it by your health bar goes down because you're older, real life, and then you hit way harder though, I guess, because you're wiser, you're better at pressure point kung fu or something. I don't know. So it's a trade-off. So you're way more dangerous. I could take people out in one hit that I was having to hit over and over and over, but I was old. And so, yeah. And then once you've died, all your coins are gone, then the game is permanently over and you can't advance anymore in the game. So it's a little bit roguelike-ish. You got to get better to actually get through the game, which was interesting. I didn't stick with it too much, but I could see that's the kind of game that would really consume me if I went into it. And then the more interesting game that I've been playing, I think it just dropped on Xbox, is called 1000 Times Resist, okay. Which is a Annapurna game. And so it has some light horror stuff going on. I don't understand anything that's happening in the game. It's science fiction-y. Everybody the character that I was playing was talking to, it seems very dystopian, was like talking to another character that looked exactly like her, and they were having some kind of argument, and then I stabbed this other character in the back and killed her. And then it was like, let's rewind and give context to everything that's happening. It seems like there was some kind of global pandemic that killed most of the population, but also weird aliens invaded who are not like, I don't know, they're not like, I don't know how to say it. They're not like biological aliens. They're like weird conceptual aliens. They exist outside of space and time somehow.
Interesting.
It's got all kinds of time travel mechanics. You're able to like leap into people's memories, and it's very clear to me that you're like part of some kind of clone cult where you're like worshiping the original person that you're a clone of. Yeah, I haven't played enough of it to understand what's happening at all, but it's really intriguing. There's no combat per se. It's just all about like unfolding what is even happening in the story. So you just like unfold mysteries, and when there's monsters, you run away. You can't fight anything.
Right.
So.
I googled it while you were talking, and I was like, that is not the color scheme I was expecting by the way you were talking about it. Very purple. Yeah,
it's weird. All the characters have the main characters each have, they're almost like Power Rangers. They each of them, like your character is blue, and then there's a red one, a green one, a yellow one, a pink one.
I guess I can see where that's blue and not purple. Sure.
Yeah, it's weird. And then there's, like I said, there's a lot of time travel mechanics. So you'll be going through a space and you can't get through it, and then you like travel to a different time, and the obstruction is not there, and then you pass the obstruction and then go back to the previous time kind of stuff. So that's like the main mechanic that I've noticed. To like, that's the only real thing that I'm doing, is otherwise you're just exploring spaces and talking to people. You make some light dialogue choices. They don't seem to be meaningful though. It's I don't know, I'm making the game sound terrible, but it's like really well written and intriguing. So I don't know, I'm interested in what the story is. I don't think that it has to be a video game. It could have been like a science fiction short story or something, but it's interesting.
I mean, narrative games are a big part of the industry.
Yeah,
it looks like it's won some awards. I just looked up the developer because the way you were describing it, in my head I was like, this sounds very Japanese, but then I realized I have no idea if the developer is Japanese. It looks like they are.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels, it does kind of feel Japanese. I don't know if Annapurna Games is, I don't know where they're out of. I've played some of their other games.
The developer is Sunset Visitor.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I'm thinking Annapurna then. Maybe they published it. I don't know.
Maybe. Or like if it is originally Japanese, maybe they did the localization.
Oh, true. Yeah, that might be. Yeah, I think it's actually set in Canada. Now that I think about it.
What gives that impression?
Well, they literally say that, and then a lot of the characters are Asian, but they're like our new life in Canada, and over and over and over. So,
but they don't say where in Canada.
I'm not sure. They might have. I just might have missed it.
I'll have to.
All the places sound the same to me, so they. But yeah, that's the main stuff that I've been messing around with, I guess. So when you were in a cabin in the woods, did you play games or?
I didn't. Some other people brought their, two people brought their Switch, and one person brought their Steam Deck. Steam Deck was playing Stardew Valley. Switch people were playing Animal Crossing because I've gotten some friends back into playing it too. As well as like the announcement of the 3.0 update that's like revitalized a lot of the fan base.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still like, Nintendo lied, like straight up lied. But also like, what was that decision making? Because I'm sure when they announced the 2.0 update and they said this is the last one, like I'm sure they thought they were telling the truth. So where was the meeting that was like, well, we could do more so that the Animal Crossing fans will shut up about it? I don't know.
I doubt it was to make them shut up.
I'm sure it's to sell more Switch 2s, but like most of the Switch 2 update is not anything people care that much about. It's the free update is what people care about, and that works on both Switch 1 and Switch 2. So
because some stuff is exclusive to the Switch 2, right? Like
nothing, like yes, but like better graphics, more people visiting an island. I don't even know how to describe that if you've never played, but like this game's version of multiplayer, you can have more people.
I see. Okay.
And there's like a mechanic where you can buy an item and in real life, yell your villager's name and the microphone on the Switch 2 will hear you, and the villager in the game will be like, I'm over here, and you can find them, which sounds gimmicky and dumb, and mostly it is. But also sometimes if you're looking to find a specific villager, it is. You can never find the one you're looking for. They're always in the museum somewhere. And you're like, why? Why was this written in that you're just in the museum? Whatever. There was more. I don't remember what though. But it was all of the stuff that people want. The new items, the new area, the new characters, the new like gameplay stuff. That's all free and for both Switch 1 and Switch 2.
Okay. Yeah, because my daughter saw all that stuff and then she was like, Dad, I won't get any of this because it's for the Switch 2.
No, that's not right at all. I was
like, I don't think that's true.
All the new items, all the like, I don't want to say story because that's not what Animal Crossing is, but the new missions, that's also not the right word, but whatever. The Animal Crossing version of those two things. Yeah. That's all going to be free.
Okay. Yeah, it seems just like processing style stuff is like.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
But so yes, I too have still been plugging away on my island. I'm thinking maybe I'll share a dream address if anybody wants to check it out. I don't know, once I get it a little bit more done. Kind of stuck on one area on what I'm doing with it. I'm also not really great at designing. I more just throw a bunch of items in front of it until it looks done. That's how I design areas on my island. And I just like clutter is good. I don't know. But also, a couple days ago, I decided to retry the Trails in the Sky video game that we bought a little over a month ago. Okay. Which, well, not retry, but like go back to it, which is great because the bit that I played like a month ago was just the battle tutorial. I got to the end of the battle tutorial. So coming back a month later, I had no idea. It was all gone from me. And it is a little complicated. So it took me a while. This is why I had my intro with the retry thing. It took me a while to pick it back up and to know what the heck I was doing. And I had to watch some YouTube videos about the orb mint and the upgrades. And even that, I had to like do a couple things wrong before I understood what the heck I was doing. It was a lot, and I was not doing well. But then I got back into it, and I remembered stuff. Well, not remembered, I just sort of re-picked it up. And yeah, I finished the prologue and got a little bit into Chapter 1 last night.
That's cool. So that's like, yeah, that's a redo of an old game. So like, and it has voice acting and all that stuff, right?
Yes. Yeah, the two main characters are played by Stephanie Sheh and Johnny Young Bosch, which are like anime and video game voice acting royalty in English, right? So
yeah,
it's kind of, I swear I haven't heard Johnny Young Bosch in anything for a while. Like for a while he was in literally everything, but then I swear he retired, but I looked it up and he hadn't. He was just in things that I wasn't watching / playing. And so it's weird hearing him again because it's been a couple years.
That's funny. Is that new for the, like it wasn't originally voice?
I don't think this one was, but the later ones in this series are, and the characters in this one do make appearances in the later games. So I do think they tried to use the same actors.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know your like teacher, Shara, she's voiced by the same person in some of the later games, who was also your teacher in Persona 5.
Oh.
And who I hate that character in Persona 5 because I think that whole thing is creepy and weird. because you can romance your teacher in Persona 5.
Mm-hmm.
And so when she talks, I'm just like, ugh. But that has nothing to do with this character. I will say the original game is from 2003, 2004, I think, somewhere in there. And you can tell. You can tell this was written by like a Japanese studio in the early 2000s, because the two main characters, like, they're like adopted siblings, and they talk about it a lot, about how siblings they are. And I was like, so you two are getting together. Got it.
Right, yeah.
And I did look it up, and I was like, I just looked up one of the characters on the wiki, and it listed the other one as brother or adoptive brother / lover. And I was like, yep.
Yep. Sibling to lover.
And the thing is, like, they do not have to put such an emphasis on the adoptive sibling thing. It does not need to be there. And I don't understand this choice, but it is what it is. Especially since they started, like, living together when they were 12, 13-ish, I think.
Even better.
So it's not, they didn't 100% grow up together.
Mm-hmm.
So they could really have downplayed it, but no, instead they're up playing it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they want you to know.
Yeah. It's great. I just, what a choice. Like, I don't mind that much because it's fictional and I'm used to it at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But still, ugh.
Yeah, early 2000s Japanese stuff. Yeah, I want to play that game. It looks really good.
It is fun. I'm having a real good time with the battle system, and the story is interesting, and the world is good. Yeah.
Well, now that you've told me about the siblings thing, I need to play it even more. So that's great.
It's nothing hotter than teenage siblings getting together.
Right.
Now, that would be a great segue into what our topic is this week. But first, we're going to quickly mention that actually next week is we're filming one more. Filming, yeah. This is all filmed. It's on YouTube. Go look it up. We are recording one more episode next week, and then we're going to take a break. That's going to be what we're calling the end of season 1. And we're going to take December off recording, and then we're going to start recording again in January, and then start posting episodes again in February.
Right. Yeah.
Mostly so that we don't burn out on this hobby, because we want to keep doing it forever and ever.
Or that's the plan. But
that's the plan, yeah.
Who knows? So if you don't see him in February, then we just got lazy.
One of us is in the hospital.
That could be too.
Yeah. Yeah. And then hopefully we'll also do like a bonus episode at the end of December with our games of the year, and perhaps a little bit of like what we're going to play next year.
Yeah. Next year I might play Final Fantasy VIII. Like, who knows? I'm on the cutting edge of like what's new. I love to buy the new stuff. I never buy new games unless it's like something I'm addicted to.
I was thinking about this. This has nothing to do with anything that we're talking about. But because I was thinking about Expedition 33 earlier in this week, and I was like, this is a Western studio doing a game in the style of a JRPG, and now we need like a JRPG studio to do a game in the style of a Western RPG. But then I was like, wait, that's what Final Fantasy 16 is.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Like if you could do more with Clive, and like if he had choices, I don't think he has choices. It's pretty, I get what you're saying though, that it's a very gameplay wise, it is totally a Western action game. Yeah. That's true.
So yes, from potential adoptive incest into our favorite relationships in video games.
Right.
Which, I don't know about you, but I had a lot of trouble not just listing my favorite characters. Because you like the character does not necessarily mean that it was a good relationship with them. And
well, you went a little bit broader than, so I was like, originally,
you were thinking it has to be romance?
Romantic, yeah, or things like that. And I was like, because I don't know that I conceptualize or prioritize romance in a story the way that you do. Right. I don't want to speak for how it matters to you, but for me, it's like one element in a thing of storytelling that is as important or equally interesting to me as like, you know, violence or sadness or happiness or,
yes,
you know, like a backstory or whatever. Like it's all just another element to that could be in the story or not be in the story, and is useful or not useful for exploring the character, you know, and the way they grow and change across the story. So it's not something that, like, if it's missing from a game, I'll be like, well, I'm not going to play that game, or I'm not.
I've actually had that before, where I've just like not like specifically, well, I hate this game now, so much as I go into a game thinking like there's going to be a good relationship mechanic. I had this with Metaphor. I'm going to come back to Metaphor, Metaphor v Fantasio, but I was pretty disappointed to learn that there was no romance in that game, because the romance options in Persona 5 were so good, and so much of that game is so much like Persona 5.
Right. Yeah.
That I was just sort of,
I get that. That makes sense.
I was just sort of disappointed, so I stopped playing it at the time. But I'm gonna go back to it. We own it, so it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I really want to play that game, and it's funny because I completely could play that game. Like, I've been able to play it for months and months. I just haven't,
because it's on Game Pass.
Well, yeah, that's how I have access to it. But I feel like if once I get into it, I'm gonna have to like really, it's gonna consume me. So like,
well, you just bought Persona 5, right?
That. I did buy Persona 5.
You got to play Persona 5 first.
Oh, why? Okay, just to get the feeling. I've played Persona 3 before, some of it, and I was like, why do I actually need to learn the Japanese subway system to play this game?
Yeah, you're gonna have that in Persona 5 too. But
right.
Persona 5 has sort of become Atlas being the studio, their Final Fantasy 7. Right. In that it now has its own spin-offs, its own sequels. It's like, that's how successful the game was. They do think of it as its own franchise series outside of the Persona series. Mm-hmm. The same way that Square thinks about Final Fantasy 7 as being its own thing.
Interesting. Yeah, that's kind of also why Metaphor was appealing to me, because it's not number 5 or 6 or whatever. It was like, this is its own thing, and so I was like,
right, but they're not related. They're like the Final Fantasy games.
See, I don't know that. I was like, is 4 like, are those the same kids?
No.
It seems like they should graduate by now. But,
no, completely different. Okay. Completely different worlds as far as I'm aware. There's no crossover.
Oh, okay. Not even the same school. Okay.
No. Because the Persona 4 school is out in the middle of the boonies. Like, it's in a tiny town. And then Persona 5 is Tokyo. And from what you're saying, Persona 3 was Tokyo too.
I think so. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it wasn't at all. And I was just like, it felt very Japanese. And I was like, I feel like is this, like a real Japanese subway system that a player who lives in Japan would be like, oh, of course I get on this to go there. Like, it totally makes sense. Because that's how it treated me. It was like, you know how to do this. And I was like, I do not.
Yeah.
I'm an American. Yep. We don't have public transit.
Yes. One of the first things you sort of do without the game completely holding your hand in Persona 5 is take the underground, the trains to school. Yeah. I was like, oh.
Yeah, but when I looked at the doc and I was like, oh, this is a little bit broader than romance, like I was like, kind of, thank God, because like I was like, do I need to
I figured
talk just about this or that?
Our favorite romances would get repetitive and that sort of thing. So just our favorite relationships of any kind.
Yeah, so that's good. Yeah.
And speaking of Persona 5, my first one is Makoto in Persona 5, and this one is the romance. I love her so much. She's just the best. I love her story. I love how her relationship with the main character is all about like bringing her out of her shell and invest. And she's so smart. And like when you first meet her, she's kind of like that stereotypical good girl nerd. Not nerd, but like, you know, she's class president. She's a year ahead of most of the main characters. And she's like a goody two-shoes. That's what I'm trying to say. And she's sort of given the task to figure out what is going on from the school principal. And through all of that, you realize that she is incredibly smart because she does figure out exactly what's going on, even though it's literally supernatural, weird stuff. Right? And she follows you around and she picks up on it. And I actually love those beginning bits where sometimes you're walking around the school and you can see her in the background with her head behind a book, like watching you. It's so good. I love how they did that. But then when she gets her persona, it's like a motorcycle, and she is so badass. And but she never quite, she never loses how smart she is and how in charge she can be. And she's just amazing, and I love the relationship that you have with her.
And so, like, so you can romance this character.
Yes.
If you didn't romance them, do they remain friends?
Yes.
Anything? Or yeah.
For all of the females. Can you romance all of them? Even the one that's like set up to be your younger sister, kind of. Definitely romance her, because her relationship is so great if you don't romance her.
Yeah.
Because you get like this little family unit with like the coffee shop guy that you're in and her, and it's so cute. Anyways, yes, but you get to a point in the relationship where you can choose romance or friendship with the women. You are not allowed to romance the men.
Well, obviously. Yeah, that's kind of weird. So you have to be a boy in the game?
Yes.
Okay. I don't mind that characters have like sexual gender preferences. It doesn't bother me that if you're a girl and you want to romance another girl and that girl is like, no, I'm not. I don't go that way. I think that's okay. But it is a little weird that none of the boys, not even
it's not even
none
about
of the girls.
Yeah, it's not even about the other characters. It's about you, the main character. Like, he doesn't talk. He doesn't have much of a personality because you're supposed to be able to choose the personality. So why can't you choose to romance Akechi the way everybody wants to?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Why, if it's a screen, why isn't it, a screen you can write on?
Yeah. I will say the relationship with Akechi is also extremely good, but it's only good in Persona 5 Royal. I did not get why people were shipping the two of them in just Persona 5. I was like, he's kind of one-dimensional, blah, 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 blah. But his relationship and everything is way expanded in Persona 5 Royal, and that I get. It's so good. I love the two of them in Persona 5 Royal. So good.
So that's the one that I bought. So that has like DLC that adds on to the story?
It's not. No, see, Atlas doesn't do DLC. They just re-release the game at full price with more stuff.
Sure. With more stuff. Okay. So you can't upgrade to Royal. You'd have to buy it again.
You have to buy it again at full price.
Smart. Yeah, that's good. That's good business there. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Interesting. So is it a different story, or it's just the same story but there's more stuff?
It's the same story with like another story happening in the background until you finish the main story, and then you get to the new story.
Huh. Okay.
That really just sort of takes the theme of Persona 5 and thinks about it in a different direction. And it's good. Is it worth paying full price again? I mean, we did it on release day. And by we, I do mean my sister. I don't think I've ever shelled out a single cent.
I bought it on sale, so whatever. It was pretty cheap. So I was happy to be like, one day I will play this JRPG. What really did it, like we did the episode about it, and you talked about the one battle and all that stuff, which was interesting. And then I put in the music from that battle underneath.
So good.
You talking about, and the music was so good. I was like, okay, I put the game on the wish list, and then it was like, hey, this game is like $18. I was like, yeah, I'll do that. That music was really good. We
own the soundtrack on vinyl. It's really good. Yeah. That I did pay. My sister, we 50-50'd that one because it was expensive, but it's so good. Anyways, that's my first one. You go.
That's cool. Well, I guess this will show how like this isn't about the characters to me.
This is just mean.
This is about the story that I'm telling.
I can't believe you did this.
Yeah, it's great. I still think about it every once in a while, like, wow, what an amazing, I'm so glad that I had the option to do this. Like, it's kind of amazing that it's there. Anyway, yeah, so shortly after I tell this story, the police will come and arrest me and the podcast will be over. But what I did in Dragon Age 2 was romance I guess he's an elf character, Fenris, who is a slave in Minrathous who escaped to Kirkwall and runs into Hawk, during the adventure. I don't think you can do this. You can only do it if you're female. I'm like 99% sure.
No, Dragon Age 2 is completely...
Is everybody bi
It's
game?
main character sexual, Like, everybody's into you.
Into you. Okay. Yeah, I don't remember that. I remember some characters being closed off, but
I mean, you can't romance your sibling, and Varric.
A long time ago.
Sibling and Varric, you can't romance. And Aveline, because she's married to somebody else.
It's so it's not Japanese. Okay. So
I had tea in my mouth, and now it's like up my nose.
Anyway, what I did was, so in this version that I played, because I played a few different versions, but I think of this one as my main one, and this relationship is a big part of the reason why. I played as a female Hawk. Oh, is the champion of Kirkwall? I can't remember what your title ends up being.
It's the champion,
like
yeah.
So you start off in your house, and the house falls, and you hit rock bottom, and you kind of climb your way back up, and you meet all these people and make friends and get wrapped up in the politics of the city and all of that stuff. And there's a really good story there, just the bones of a story, and you can just play that story and experience it. But for me, like, I really wanted the character to go on an arc, to start emotionally and psychologically in one place and end up in a different place at the end. And the game doesn't like totally acknowledge that, but for me, like, I felt like it was there, and I wanted her to be like very trusting and kind of privileged in the beginning, be like, everybody can make good choices, like, all the time. Like, there's always a choice to do good, and not understand what it is to be desperate and heartbroken and abused and traumatized and things like that. And by the end of the game, I basically had her be as cynical and hard and push and not having relationships with other people. I made her like into a bad person. The way that I thought of it was like she is a real anti-heroic arc for her. She just ends up in a place where she actually can't form relationships, and that maybe the underlying fundamental thing about her character is that she was always a kind of moral coward. Like, she was a naive moral coward, and she ended the whole thing as a complete moral coward.
Like a jaded moral coward.
Yeah. Like, it's a tragedy, basically.
Yeah.
In my mind. And the game doesn't really support that because it makes you heroic, but whatever. So I did do like the romance with Fenris, and the reason that I chose Fenris out of all the people is because he has this like amnesia thing happening with him. He doesn't remember anything about his childhood, but as you love him, it like heals him. He gets more and more of his memory back. The more he trusts the rest of the crew and gets along with people, the more all of these bits start bubbling back up to the surface for him, and he becomes a more complete person. And so it was like an opposite arc to her whole situation. So I think in my mind, she felt comfortable with him because it was all very like on the surface and maybe a little bit just physical and like comfortable for where she was at first. And then he became more and more of a person, and she became more and more uncomfortable with it, is how I was thinking of it. And it like I said, it also like directly contrasted with the distance that she was putting between her and everyone else emotionally. He was getting closer to everyone and she was getting further away. And it culminated for me in this moment where you find out that like his sister is in town and you can go meet her. And you're like, oh, amazing. And you bring him to her and she seems ashamed and anxious and upset. And the reason is because the the Minrathous guy who owned him has the sister under his control, and she was bait to draw Fenris out. And then you can choose to like kill this dude, which I think 99% of people do, because he's a terrible person who has slaves. Or you can choose to sell him back into slavery. And the scene is like really heartbreaking because if you choose to do that, which is what I did, then he's like, please don't do this. Like he kind of begs you, like I need you and I need these people, like the rest of the group, like I have a family now kind of situation. And you're like, whatever, I don't care. And then instead of fighting or doing anything, he just like looks down at the ground and then just goes away without a fight. Just follows this guy and he starts ordering him around like a slave, and he just slips right back into that role.
You're a monster.
His spirit is completely crushed. And in my mind, this is a moment like when the character like fully, like she closes her heart completely. She can't be open to anything anymore after that. And like it seals the tragedy. After that, she's like, she can do anything. She's fully evil, kind of. But the weird thing that happened in the game that I had, and they've probably fixed this since then, is that anytime that I would go into that particular inn or whatever, after that, even like once it got to Act 3 or whatever, it would trigger this cutscene again in like some kind of a glitch.
Oh.
And it was like perfect because it was like her trauma just playing out again. Like it was like this guilt, like this thing that wouldn't let go of her. She's like, no, my heart is closed. I am a house of stone. Nothing may enter, nothing may live. And this thing was like still there inside of her. And she couldn't shake it. So I loved that the game like gave that to me, even though it was like a glitch or something. Like the whole thing would play out, and it would give me more money every time. It would give me whatever the money reward that he gave me in that moment. So it was like, wow, this is super fucked up. Like it was just extra fucked up. So I just always, when I think of Dragon Age 2, I always think of that Fenris scene and how that just allowed me to do a thing in a story that I don't know. I feel like most games would not support the ability to make that choice, to romance the character and then betray them so completely.
That's fucked up, dude.
It is. It's really messed up. It was, I don't know. In my mind, it was like a cool.
Yeah. Having said that, like story. The ability to make those choices is what people love Bioware for. Maybe not anymore, but at the time, that was what got people. That you can make those messed up choices.
Yeah.
I always played my Hawk. Almost every time I play, I do this. Because I guess I've only played Dragon Age 2 twice. Maybe 3 times. I think twice. I play her as like this long-suffering, like, am I the only person who knows about being good?
Right.
You know,
you can definitely do that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a mix of the purple and the top option, so that she's just like, yeah, we're gonna do this, but like, why is nobody else? Like, what is happening here?
It is the most depressing city in the world, I think.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, nobody is a good person in Kirkwall.
So my next one is not a romance, but it's with my best friend in Mass Effect, Rex.
Rex that's sweet. I love Rex so much.
I think I've talked about it before, but I absolutely cannot think about that scene in Mass Effect 3 where he calls you his sister without tearing up. I'm trying not to think about it right now. I can't even say the line because it will not go well. But after like the 3 games of having him around, whether he's on your ship or not, and going from, you almost have to kill him in the first game, and in fact you do have to kill him if you have played that game poorly.
Yeah, I quit the game when that happened. I was like, I refuse to allow, not Rex, no.
Yeah. And that was over like a genophage thing. And then going through, it's sort of mixed up with Morden's character also, where he has to learn that maybe all this like looking at everything from a complete science point of view is perhaps not the best way to see the world. And that all sort of comes back to curing the genophage and saving the Krogan people and blah, 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 blah. And like, if you don't have Rex there and the other guy, his brother's in charge, who's like an asshole,
yeah,
I can absolutely see not making that choice to save the Krogan because you don't have that connection to them.
Right. Yeah, and it's hard to justify it to the rest of the crew.
Yeah.
Be like, no, so, they're real people too. Be like, so they're all assholes.
Yeah. But and it's just good, and I actually think Mass Effect is not great at romance.
Yeah.
I don't really have a romance that sticks out to me. I know a lot of people like Garrus, but
I hate Garrus.
I know you hate Garrus. I personally like Garrus more as like a war buddy. I think his romance was not like, I like the idea of romancing him, but I don't think it was written well. I think they just like tacked it on because they knew the 5 girls wanted it from their point of view. The 5 girls playing Mass Effect.
Yeah. I think there's way more than that.
No, I know. I know that, but I'm saying from BioWare's perspective, I think that's what they thought were happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Garrus is like, people seem to not understand that Garrus is a cop who his main thing is, I really hate those civil liberty laws. I really hate that people have rights and that I have to go through the process to acknowledge their rights. How annoying. I wish I was like you and didn't have to follow rules. And I'm like, you're not on my crew, dude. Fuck off. Like, I don't like you. And everybody loves Garrus. I don't understand it. That's his whole thing. Is like, I'm a Citadel cop and I hate following the rules of being a cop. It's like, don't be a cop then. And then he goes off to a space station and he's fucking Batman, except with a sniper rifle, killing people that he thinks are guilty. And I'm like, you didn't get any better, Garrus. You're a fucking vigilante now. What happened? It's bad.
Anyways.
I'm sorry for the Garrus slander.
I think Rex is a great friendship, and I love that if you do have to kill him in the first game, they completely went the other way with with Reeve, I think his name is. He's not like a Rex stand-in. They did something so different that you are like punished for killing Rex.
Punished.
You know what I mean?
No,
and
I get it. Yeah.
I really like that they did that because Rex is amazing, and you should always. You should have to just go back hours in your game and distribute your points better.
Yeah, that's what I did. Rex is the best. I think he's maybe the best Mass Effect character.
Yeah, he's great. I was watching like a YouTube video of somebody playing through the Mass Effect trilogy for the first time here. Or for the first time on YouTube. Whatever, you know what I'm saying. Yeah. And the person who got her to do it didn't tell her to make sure she puts points into, charm or intimidate. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I get not wanting to, to having people go in blind, but that's one thing you got to tell them. You got to tell them. You got to say, make sure you have this much in one of these before this. Because otherwise you're just, like, it's just mean. I don't know.
Those points are useful anyway. You should be doing that.
Yeah, you can you can word it that way. Like, keep that up for dialogue options.
Yep. I don't know. I think I did play through a version where I had Shepard romance Rex, so it is possible.
You can't romance Rex.
You can't?
No, you
swore.
cannot.
Oh. Is he in your crew in the third one, or is he just the straight up leader of the Krogans at that point?
No, I think he is in your crew in the third one. I think.
Okay.
But he has like a whole thing with the female Krogan who you have to save.
Oh, right. I remember this now. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah. That makes sense. I've done. So the way that I do a lot of BioWare games, I won't necessarily play through it. Like you said, you played Dragon Age 2 through twice. I might not play through twice, but I'll have like multiple saves.
And you'll just go back in and do a couple different things.
Yeah, and like see what it is to, romance this person. What kind of, how does that go? What is their personality? And then use that as like storytelling tools.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I feel like most of the characters in Mass Effect are romanceable, and it's like you said, it's like none of them are that great.
So in the first one, there's only 3 romanceable characters.
Mm-hmm.
In the second one, it depends if you're playing male or female, I think.
Yep.
But the first game and the third game really want you to romance Liara. I think Liara is like the canon romance, you know?
Yeah.
But I despise Liara in the first game. I like her in 2 and 3, but she's always fainting in the first game, and I'm just like, I don't have time. You know, my Shepard was trying to get shit done.
Game. Yeah.
So I've never done it because I don't like her in the first game.
You like Shadow Broker Liara.
Yeah, she gets way better. And they keep her nerdy, which I do like.
Yeah. That's funny.
So then as playing female Shepard, that really leaves you with the Canadian human dude in the first game, who is then mean to you for no reason other than he's mean to you for no reason in the second game, and then he's kind of mean to you for no reason at first in the third game also, but then you convince him to not be mean to you, and then you can finish the romance. And I'm like, that sucks. Or you can do Garrus in 2 and 3. And again, it's fine, but I feel like it's mostly just a little bit of extra dialogue in the same scenes you have if you're doing a friendship with him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like,
And then you jump on top of him. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't think it's very well done.
Yeah, I agree.
I do like the romance with the frog assassin man, whose name escapes me, but obviously that ends in tragedy. Maybe that's why I like it, though.
Yeah.
Because he has a terminal illness, so you're not going anywhere great with that.
He's going to die, yeah.
And that's not even a spoiler. That's one of the first things you learn about him.
Yeah, it's like
he has a terminal illness. And then you can romance him. And it's like, great, thanks, BioWare. Thanks.
I think the guy that you're talking about, the Canadian guy, is...
Caden
is... I always think of him as Karth, because in Knights of the Old Republic, the same actor plays Karth, and it's the same character. It's the exact same guy. And he's such a piece of shit in Knights of the Old. He's also romanceable if you're a female, and it is do you hate yourself and want to change yourself for a man is the story there. And I guess that's a story you could tell, but it's not a story I wanted to tell in Knights of the Old Republic. So it's not a story I wanted to tell in Mass Effect either.
I was just looking up like romance options in Mass Effect to make sure we weren't missing anything, and it did. I love that it says Steve Cortez, who is a character in Mass Effect 3, who if you're playing male Shep, you can romance him, and it says the first gay romance in the Mass Effect series. Except like if you're playing female Shep, you can always romance
Liara, yeah.
And
doesn't count.
Whatever. Thane.
Maybe they mean gay as like 2 men.
Yes, obviously, but
yeah.
It's just
I agree.
Whatever.
That's infuriating.
Thane is the name of the assassin.
Yeah. Not a great name. I've already forgotten it. Yeah. I have a lot of Mass Effect thoughts. I'm on the same page with you, even though I'm going to talk about another one later. I don't think Mass Effect has great romances, but it does have good stories, which is not necessarily the same thing.
Yes. Anyways, let's hear about the AI.
Yeah, so my next one is Master Chief and Cortana from the Halo series, and I'm mainly thinking about the first 3 games because it really, Cortana's in all of the Halo games, but her character changes quite a bit after Halo 3. But what I love their friendship. It's really like a war buddy kind of a thing.
Yeah, that's what I like about Shepard and Garrus. They kind of become war buddies.
They really go through it with each other. When you first meet Cortana at the beginning of Halo, she is the starships that they have are too complicated for any human to pilot by themselves. And so every ship is and has an AI that has an emotional computer program in it.
I'm so sorry. Is Cortana in the game an AI?
Yes, she is an AI.
I was making a joke about the Windows Cortana.
No. Cortana is named after Cortana.
That's...
Yeah. Cortana from Halo came first, and then Cortana Microsoft is named after her.
That's... okay.
I'm so glad I could reveal this to you. Yeah. So I thought you knew what you were talking about.
But, no, I was making a joke, but nope. I'm just stupid, apparently.
So a lot of people do ship these characters, which I think is really weird, because she's completely disembodied. And so, I don't know, they can have a romantic relationship. They don't. They have a very close friendship and like a war, like they trust each other because they've saved each other so many times. And they're there for each other in the clutch situation. So like when you first meet her, she's very skeptical of you as a soldier, which I really like, because when they like wake you up, it's like the fail safe, like everything is fucked. So like this is our last ditch thing, is to wake this guy up because he's like the war machine, right? He's gonna fix all the problems. He's the smash the glass and get him out kind of emergency thing. And she's like, yeah, you're just another guy with a gun. Like, you're nothing special. And she's just that whole first half of the first game, she's constantly like, shouldn't you put on a seatbelt? Don't we need to do this? Like, and she learns to respect Master Chief's abilities over time because again and again and again, he gets the job done. And then you end up having to split up in that halfway through the first game. He unloads her from the ship because the ship crashes. That's the first thing that happens. And then he like loads her into his armor, which is like a special, none of the other soldiers have the same armor that Master Chief has.
Of course.
And he loads her into that. She's barely able to fit inside of it because, the program is so big. And then he uploads her into the Halo's computer halfway through the game so that she can like figure out what they need to do. And he has to leave her immediately after that. And so the rest of the game is about him getting back to Cortana to like, and she again and again like bails him out. Like he gets into a sticky situation and she is part of the whole settings AI now. And so she's able to like nudge things so that like a door opens when it needs to and he can get away. So she's still there for him and still helping him. And then he's able to save her AI from the Halo's actual AI. And then in Halo 2, the same kind of thing happens. Like you have to split up and then get back together and split up and get back together. And she becomes like really, really important for saving the entire galaxy and the human race. And she makes this ultimate sacrifice to like, I'm gonna go. She's like a war hero. She, as much as Master Chief is, and he moves everything. He goes against the military. Like they give him direct orders and he goes against it to save her. So they have a real like no Marine left behind kind of a thing.
Right.
For each other. That's like, soldier's honor. And it's not just like she's a female voice and he's a guy romance. It's way more complicated and interesting than that. And the fact that she's not like a person. Well, what's really interesting is that you like Master Chief is like when he was little was like kidnapped from his parents and genetically experimented on and all this stuff. And the person who did that to him, like the scientist who did that to him and like did all these terrible experiments to him, Cortana is like based on her psychology, like her mind upload is Cortana and stuff. So like, I don't know. It's like some kind of, that's a little bit weird maybe, but yeah. It's like a full on, I don't know, science fiction story. So there's like all kinds of weird shit in there. But I just like their friendship is great. Like when you're playing the game and Cortana is in your head, she's making snarky comments. Like you can't make that jump. Or like, come on, I know you can do it. You're crazy. Stuff like that. I really enjoy that.
If this podcast convinces me to play Halo, everything was always a mistake.
Oh, okay.
And we'll have to cancel our friendship.
Good. Yeah, that new Halo is coming out on PlayStation any day now. So.
I was thinking about that. My next one is not completely a romance. There's a romance within it, I suppose. But the main 4 group in Final Fantasy IX, which is Steiner, Garnet / Dagger, Vivi, and Zidane. Right. I think like there's a world in which you could have played the game with just those 4. Like it's not as good of a game, but you could have done it. I love their journey from beginning to end. I love how much they affect each other and cause each other to grow and change and teach each other about the world in completely different ways. Because like 3 of the characters are extremely naive about the world in different ways. And the other one thinks that he knows everything and then very quickly finds out that he does not.
And he knows nothing about himself.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know that I have much more to say other than I love how you can see it too. Like for almost the first half of the game, Steiner is nothing but a dick to Zidane.
Yeah.
But at the end, he's polite and trusting of him. And I think that more than anything shows how much they've all grown and affected each other. Like there's that one point where Zidane has decided to stay behind and is saying goodbye to Garnet. And Steiner doesn't leave, but he like walks away and turns his back to them so that they can have their moment. And like in the early game, he would have like picked Zidane up and thrown him over the cliff, He would have been like, don't you dare speak to her. What are you doing?
Yeah. Split them up. Yeah.
And it's just so good. I love the little family group that the 4 of them kind of form.
Yeah.
Of like crazy uncle, mom and dad, and cute son who's gonna die soon.
And the kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor Vivi. Yeah. But the romance between Steiner and Vivi is really hot. That is true. No. That's not a real thing.
Oh, I actually do like that from the beginning, Steiner always showed so much respect to Vivi because he's like, oh, you're a wizard. I will respect you, Master Wizard.
Right, yeah.
Even though Vivi is like, I'm 5.
Yeah, Vivi is like, wow, what a cool rock.
Yeah.
He's not like...
And then he's like Flair, Yeah. Like, oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's a great ensemble in that. That's probably the best group of characters. Even the people outside of that group who are like the oddball weirdos are probably some of the best weirdos.
They are definitely all good. I just have a real special place in my heart for the main 4, to the point that I will use them as my main party even when it makes no sense. Like there's a good chunk of the game where Dagger her actions will sometimes just fail. They just won't happen. And I'm still like, no, but I like her. So she's in. Like it makes no sense.
Yeah, they're good. That's funny to make that.
It's stupid. The game is even like, look, we have provided for you somebody else to use
the exact same role. Yeah.
And I'm like, no.
Mechanically the same. Yeah, that's good. No, I think that's good. That's good. That means the story's like really working on you. I like that. Yeah. My next one is way more recent.
I'm glad you brought this up because this one's good. This one's good.
Yeah, this really worked on me from Expedition 33 or Claire Obscure Expedition 33. The relationship between Gustav and Mael. Mael.
Shadowheart.
She is so like when you start out the game like a mystery, like why is she the most powerful person in the group? Like
yes.
I cannot let her not be in the 3. But it feels like the game is like, but Gustav, amazing. And so I was like, that's really weird. And then all of the little scenes, the campfire scenes and stuff are between these two characters. I mean, right off the bat, it's between these two characters. Yeah. And there's I was like, oh, okay, so they're gonna like get together or something, but it's never like that at all. It's very big brother, little sister, father, daughter, mentor, mentee.
But like they were doing it in the style of a JRPG, so you didn't really know.
Yeah, I was like, I know where that goes. Yeah, I was a little nervous about it, but the longer it went on, they have this whole thing about like throwing the rocks in the water and just talking. And then I guess spoilers for part of this relationship and also like
spoilers. All of the spoilers, like skip ahead if you don't want to be spoiled for Expedition 33. Yeah,
because this is what makes this good, I think. And Gustav is like writing in his journal all the time because a big part of this game is about leaving your legacy for the next generation. And Gustav really cares about that, and he cares about the kids that he was teaching in his hometown. And so he's making notes of everything in the journey to that end so that the next people who come can learn from his journal. And then Gustav dies, like pretty early in the game in a totally devastating scene. And Mael takes up the journal and writes in it, like you can do that every time you go to the camp. You can have her write in the journal, which hit me pretty hard the first time that happened. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
She's writing to those kids for Gustav. She's stepping in there. And then she would still throw the rocks in the water. And I think she has a scene where she does that with Verso, like has him throw the rocks in the water with her and is like, me and Gustav used to do this. And, that was like a real emotional punch in the gut. So like, I don't know, just the friendship between them and the effect that it had on Mael and the legacy. And when you know everything, the way that I think all of that was the way that art and stories can kind of heal bad relationships for people by being like a stand-in for what you wish you could have had.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Powerful.
What I'm going to say is probably going to just spoil the whole game. So, like we said, don't listen. But I do love this idea that she found this great older brother in her brother's canvas.
Yeah.
So there probably was a bit of his soul in there. I know Aline made all the people.
But that's what makes it good too, because it's
that her mom made him. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
the both of them did. Yeah.
And but because it's Verso's canvas, you'd think that there's a little bit of Verso in everything.
Yeah, there's a little bit of Verso in Gustav, and there's a little bit of Aline in Gustav, and maybe even a little bit of what Mael wished for in Gustav, and it's all.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. It's really affecting, and just even without all that stuff though, just the real friendship between them, the real affection, brotherly, sisterly, unproblematic,
Yeah.
I was like, wow, it's really beautiful.
I do wonder how the end game would have gone if Gustav had been there. Like, killing him was the right choice for the story.
Yeah.
But I do wonder how it would have gone.
I kind of thought, yeah, at the end they were like, it's like, oh, is she gonna like bring him back or anything? You know, with like her superpowers, but it didn't happen.
Well, it does in the ending if you choose her. But yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But you mean
That's
like
what I mean.
It's for the game.
Mechanically.
That would have been interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. And be like, you remember being dead?
But I wonder what his reaction to the truth would have been.
Not good, I think. I don't think he would have liked it at all.
But then, like, we didn't really get anybody's reaction to the truth.
I think that's a big problem with that game, honestly. Yeah.
That nobody seems to care that they're not real people.
Yeah. CL does a little bit. Yeah. We'll have to talk about that game sometime. But the way she cares about it is like in a very different way. She's like, great, we're not to bring my family back then.
Yeah. Anyways, spoiler section done. I don't know. Maybe we can mark that somewhere. I don't know how. My next one is from Xenogears, which is an old game from the 90s. I think I've talked about it a couple times.
I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, the main character, Faye, and Ellie, who's one of the other main characters, they have, you know, a little romance in the game, and I love it. They're both adults, which is rare in a JRPG. Mm-hmm. They're not related to each other, which is
weird.
We're making it sound more rare than it is. It's just, you know, I don't know what it is about anime and video games and brothers and sisters, but let's not talk about this.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about Spy Family now, but anyways. I love that they have, like, I would call it a slow burn relationship, but it's more just like that there's a lot going on both in the world and with themselves. And like Faye has some intense problems that he really has to address himself. Like, romance is not gonna fix him, you know what I mean? And
That's
they
good.
don't get together until after a lot of reveals about mental illness and you know, addressing of the mental illness that Faye is suffering from, and also some reveals about who and what Ellie is and all that sort of thing. And it's just a very mature adult relationship, and I don't mean like there's a lot of nudity. I just mean that it just feels real, more real than a lot of JRPG romances.
That's great. Yeah, that they're not making choices based on like, oh, this will make me feel better or distract me, but like, I've learned about myself and this is what I want. That sounds great.
Yeah. And like, I think when Faye is going through a lot of his problems, I think SSRIs come up, and this is a game from the 90s, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's insane. And like, it's really interesting how this game tackles mental illness in a kind of good way, which is not common for a video game, you know? A lot of time mental illnesses are kind of a means to an end or a plot point or something. I'm not saying it's not that here, because there's a lot going on with these characters that is messed up. But they also come at it from like you have to address it or it is going to take over your life.
Yeah, that's true. That's real.
Yeah.
That's
and
good.
it's kind of done in metaphors, because like literally Faye's things are happening that he doesn't have control over. I don't know why I'm more worried about spoiling this like 30-year-old game than I am about Expedition 33, which is not even 1 year old.
The 10-month-old game.
Yeah. I guess, I don't know, whatever. I guess it's because of you, because I want you to play it.
Yeah, I would, yeah, I just have to be able to play it.
Yeah, there's like no good way to play it. And also, just very rare in JRPGs, especially from Square Enix, they have like a fade to black love scene at the end, you know, like, because they're adults, which is wild. Like, it never happens. It's a weird thing in a lot of anime and Japanese video games where maybe Like, if you're lucky, the people in love will kiss. But that is also rare.
Yeah.
Sometimes they look at each other and that's all you get.
Yeah, sometimes after she's killed by your rival, you put her into a lake and she sinks to the bottom. And that's like the most romantic thing that happens in the game.
But like, the thing about that game is you don't even know. Were they? Did they have romantic feelings for each other? There's arguments for and against. You don't even know. That's
did they go on a date, or did you go on a date with Barrett Wallace?
Yeah,
you don't
exactly.
even know. Yeah.
But just in general, like I was just talking about Zidane and Garnet. They barely acknowledge that they are super into each other, you know, until like there's a maybe in that very last scene, maybe they kiss, but the camera pulls back so you don't know.
Right. Yeah, it's very like Disney-fied.
Yeah. So the fact that these two are 100% definitely in a relationship and that it took a lot of working on themselves to get to a good place, and there are still times when they miscommunicate to each other and have to like explain themselves again and blah 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 blah. Like, it's insane. It's a good relationship though, and I played that game once 30 years ago and it has stuck with me.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's powerful.
I mean, less than 30 years ago, because I was not 10, but you know.
I was trying to think, because I've played the Xenosaga, and I was like, is anything like that in there? And I don't really think so. There's not like problematic. There's no problematic relationships or anything in there.
It's been so long since I played Xenosaga. I feel like that game is more interested in the relationship between Shion and Cosmos.
Cosmos, for sure. Yeah. Which is not, it's like a friendship, but it's like are you a person or not?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah. It's way more, it's just way more of like, could robots be people? And,
yeah, I don't know. JRPGs are real into that question.
Yeah. That question used to be more interesting to me before I met ChatGPT. And then I was like, oh, I don't like you, actually. You're a bad person.
It's see, in the more interesting stories, it's not are robots people, it's what constitutes a person.
Yes, yeah. That is the Cosmos question.
Yeah.
That's not
a slightly
which is not
different
a romance question.
Like, yeah, it's an important distinction, but a subtle one, I guess.
Yeah. It's funny. Well, I think all the stuff that you're saying, though, is kind of why I like Jack's story in Mass Effect 2 and 3.
See, I've never played Male Shepherd, and I never will, so I cannot romance Jack, but I do like Jack's friendship.
Yeah, well, Jack is really interesting.
They're great. I love them. She. I think they're just...
I think it's just she. It's... Yeah, so you can romance her, but that's not what's interesting to me. So I think the notorious thing about romancing Jack is that if you do the BioWare thing of being really aggressive in your romancing, like every time the romance comes up, you do the romance, and that's how romance works.
Mm-hmm.
Then you will quickly get to a sex scene. That will happen, and then you are cut off from a relationship with Jack after that. Because Jack has been very traumatized and has this complicated, dark backstory, and is used to being like, physical love is a distraction from the everyday, like, I have issues, unhealthy mental health state that Jack is in. And so, like, yeah, sure, we slept with each other. It means nothing because it never means anything. And then you want it to mean more? Ew, go away. That's gross and weird. Who is like that? So if you don't sleep with Jack, then you can pursue a relationship that's more meaningful, which I kind of don't like, because it's like some white knight bullshit of like some chastity stuff. I don't think that that's what it's meant to be, but what I like in Mass Effect, so Mass Effect 2 happens, and then Mass Effect 3, Jack has gone off and done her own thing and worked on herself and has worked out some of her issues. And she's always had like a really strong moral compass.
Yeah.
That's like, but she doesn't follow the rules per se, but she does have like her own rules that are heavily informed by all of her trauma in the past. And the way that she forms her relationships and what pisses her off and what pleases her is very strongly, like, her moral compass is very strong, I guess is what I'm saying. Like, you might look at this character and be like, oh, they're chaotic, and, you know, she's like into being sexy, like having sex right away, and like, it's not like that. She's very against the human corporations and the xenophobia and the way that people are lied to in the galactic community and manipulated, and the discrimination against the biotics. Is that what they're called? The people who have powers. Yeah. The way that they're used and experimented on, like all of that, like she's not confused about any of that stuff. She's not persuadable on any of that stuff. So I like how internally strong she is, but how she works through her damage and how the friendships that you can form around that, like she doesn't compromise and be like, oh, you're trying, so I'll try to be a friend to you. She's like, no, fucking do it right, or I'm not your friend. Like I think that's great, actually. So I like Jack as a character. It's kind of what you were saying, where it's just talking more about the character than necessarily the relationships. I like that if you sleep with her, she's like, I'm fucking done with you. And if you're like, well, Cerberus has some good things actually, and there are bad people on both sides, she's like, fuck off. I don't have time for that. That's not the world that I live in. That's not a real take. Have a backbone, actually, or I won't be your friend. And that's a pretty cool way to write a character, I think.
Jack in Mass Effect 3 is probably, like, I love her in Mass Effect 3 even more than I love her in Mass Effect 2. And I wish she was on our team more. Yeah, like gettable, you know, that we got more of her in 3. Yeah. But it's so good. And I also think, despite her putting on more clothes, like, I think she's sexier in 3. Yeah. I like that she has like a little team. She becomes a teacher. Yes, that's cool. So good. Yeah. And how she really cares about the kids. Yep. It's good. Her arc is really great. I think it's one of the better written things in Mass Effect. It pays off really good. It pays off, and it's like, it's good because it's surprising, but then once you get over the surprise, it's like, no, of course. Yep. Nothing else could have happened to her. Right. Of course she went on to make sure this didn't happen to other kids. Exactly. Yeah, that's what she cares about. And then she doesn't care so much about, oh, it's the Alliance, or it's this, or like following the regs. She like changes the way that she talks so that she's not, you know, like a bad influence on the kids. Right, on the cadets and stuff. It's really good. It's really good. It's just the way that people heal, you know, who are traumatized, and then they pull out of it, and then they care about other people who are in that, like, that's the arc. You don't see that enough, I guess, is what I think. It's usually the villain has that kind of backstory, and that's the whole reason that they're crazy and bad, is because they were damaged when they were younger. And it's like, okay, but there are other outcomes to the story. So that's interesting, because the two main villains in Mass Effect are like the Reapers and the man. The Smoking Man? Yeah. Who will do anything to make sure humanity comes out on top. And like, we don't have backstories on either of those folks. They're just there to be the bad guys. Yeah, there's the one guy in Mass Effect 1 who used to be or is, I guess, I can't think of what. A Spectre. A Spectre, yeah. The other I can't think of his name. But yeah, but his mind has been taken over by the Reapers. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He's kind of co-opted. But he does have like his own reasons. Saren, that's his name. It's a good name. It's going to bother me.
But yeah, you're right. You're right. There's no like
spoilers again, but whatever.
Whatever. That's Jack. I think Jack is great. And under like I never see people talk about Jack except to be like, oh, that romance is stupid, the way that it's constructed. And, I don't disagree, but her character is great.
I guess then, like when you put Jack down here, I thought you were going to talk about the romance. So I guess I have experienced the best of Jack as female ship. I had no idea what the romance was like.
Yeah, I mean, I've done it where you're like, no, I won't sleep with you because I respect women. He doesn't say that, but like it feels that way to me.
I get what you're saying about that, but I don't know. I get what BioWare was going for with.
Yeah, it just didn't. It's bad though. It's not a good version of it because he's very self-congratulatory in a shitty way, and so he's like, I know what's best for you, kind of a thing. Yeah. It's bad.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah.
My last line here I put in today because I signed in and I realized I just hadn't written down my two actual favorite romances in video games.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why I didn't write them down. I guess I just sort of thought, of course, we don't need to talk about that.
Well, Cypher.
But one of them, I don't want to talk about too much because we've talked about them quite a bit, and that is Yuna and Tidus in Final Fantasy X.
It is good, yeah.
I love them a lot. I was like, I'm going to say I was 15 when I first played Final Fantasy X. So I was just like a very good age to be obsessed.
Mm-hmm.
I'd also like, it came out a couple months after I had moved across the country and hadn't quite made friends or made, in the new place. So I latched on real hard.
It's a good romance anyway. They do a really good job of building that. It doesn't come out of nowhere. And it's heartbreaking. So which makes it really extra good, I think.
It is good. And we've talked about how it's like very wrapped up in the theme of the game and even the setting of the game and how it just really reflects what's going on extremely well. So it's like a well-written romance and it feels like it needs to be there.
Yep. And it's way more explicit and like we were saying, does Cloud and Aerith care about each other? Like there's no question.
Yeah, exactly. Not explicit like explicit like you know exactly what is happening.
Game. Yeah, it's not like that.
Not like it's rated M. Yeah. Anyways, and then my favorite BioWare romance is actually the Inquisitor and Cullen, who is a little bit blackened. I don't know if that's the word now because the actor is such a fucking tool. So that sucks. I'm not going to go into all the things that he's done, but I will say that he has very actively and like publicly supported J.K. Rowling and
that sucks.
Is that sort of thing. And he's done other crazy ass. He's just a piece of work. But if I can put all that out of my brain, I really love the idea of this like games long because you meet Cullen in the first game and bad things happen to him in the first game.
Yep.
And then in the second game, bad things happen around him, not necessarily to him. And you can absolutely see how the bad things from the first game are affecting him.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes like a really big thing for him to realize, whoa, I have been supporting the wrong people here. But he does sort of come to his senses at the end. And then the third game, you could tell that the fact that he didn't realize sooner is still affecting him and that he is trying to make better choices and change himself and sort of free himself from the leash that the church, the Chantry, had on him. And I like that it's not simple. Like, obviously, it's a video game and it's not written as well as it could be and that sort of thing. But
I think it is good though. Yeah, I remember when he showed up, I was like, oh damn, that dude again. Like he's always kind of lurking in the background, and now he's one of the people. Like that's pretty cool. Yeah.
And I will say in the third game they did make him very hot.
Yeah, it's cool.
He got his life together and he got his looks together.
Yeah.
And I like that you can really just if you're playing Dragon Age Inquisition as a woman, you have 4 male options for romance.
Do you though?
Now, so one of them will betray you if you make one wrong choice. One of them has actively participated in genocide more than once.
I was going to say.
One of them murdered children for money. And the other one is Cullen. And he did some shit too in the early games. I'm not gonna, if you...
And you know that guy. Yeah, know.
If you know the shit that he's done. But at least in this game, he is actively trying to do better. Yeah. The murdered children for money is kind of trying to do better, but also is still lying about it. And and I could get past what he did if it weren't for the children. Because there was other people involved in that also. Like, he was really only there to murder the adults, but the children got murdered too. Mm-hmm. And I don't know about that. And then I'm going to talk about genocide when we talk about the relationships we hate. And the one wrong choice, like, nobody makes that choice. The guy who will betray you if you make the wrong choice. Nobody actually makes that choice, so it's mostly fine. But it is real bad if it's not.
I definitely have done all of these, because like I shake everything out of the Dragon Age.
If I haven't done them, I've watched it on YouTube and been like, oh shit.
Yeah.
That's some stuff.
That's interesting that Cullen is so good for you. I like Cullen's arc a lot, that he's there in the background and then he gets to be in the foreground, and that he changes a lot is a really cool thing that happens in those 3 games.
I really like it, and I feel like public opinion has turned against him in recent years, but I do think that is mostly because of the actor being such a bad person.
Yeah, that's not fair. That's not, on the character.
Well, and there is... I guess if you play your cards right or wrong, I guess, in Dragon Age Origins, he does kill. He is on the side. He doesn't do it himself, but he is encouraging you to murder a bunch of mages.
Oh, yeah, he's a bad guy, for sure.
Well, yes, but also, like, he was just, like, tortured by a demon. Like, he's not in a great place. He is not.
Yeah.
And also is, like, being lied to by the Chantry all of his life, more or less, so...
Oh yeah, he's on the wrong side of things, but I think of him as a bad guy. I guess I have more room for people, I guess, than most of the internet does, for people to be bad people and then come back from that and to be like, well, you did something really heinous, and it's like, yep, and that I don't know. I always feel like you can turn it all around.
Yes, that is what I like about him, that he realizes he was wrong. And I do wish that they put a little bit more emphasis on that in Inquisition. But it's there if you're looking for it, that he's trying his best to make up for what he did. Especially if you play a mage. He will say, like, I hate to think what I would have thought of you then, or something. I don't remember the exact line.
Yep.
So
I thought you were going to say something way more condescending. You were like, that is what I like about you, Alan, is your dumb innocence.
Oh,
you believe in people.
No, I absolutely think, for lack of a better term, cancel culture online has gotten out of hand. But it's difficult to have nuanced conversations about that because that's the internet.
Yeah. People protecting themselves, but it's like, I do think some people really believe that if you do something bad, you can never come back from it. And it's like, what a way to live your life. Like,
and then I guess you believe in the death penalty, like just kill them.
Yeah, because they can never come back, so they're human trash. I guess that's a way to live. I guess it's terrible.
And even, I don't want to get too far into this, but like it depends on what you've done also. Like there are some things that I personally would never support, a creator, an actor, a writer, whatever. Like even if J.K. Rowling changed her mind on everything, I would never re-find the joy that she brought me as a young person. Like that is gone for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying like, oh, we gotta, give everybody another chance. I'm just saying that you can change as a human being. Like, you are actually taking that away from yourself when you think that other people can't change and have to be shut out. You're doing something to yourself. You're saying like, there are possibilities for me that don't exist, which is not great. It's not a great way to live.
Exactly.
Yeah, I sent us into a weird direction.
Yeah, just to sum all that up, I just think there's a lot of really cute scenes between the Inquisitor and Cullen, apart from, everything else that I just talked about, and I really like that romance. That's all.
It's like a Spike and Buffy thing almost, but really well done.
I guess I don't really like Spike and Buffy.
I don't either, but
I can see.
I guess that's the idea.
I love the idea of Spike, like, being a former, like, church guy.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. All right, let's talk about our least favorite relationship in video games. You go first, because I'm going to make a lot of people mad.
Okay. Well, I've talked at various times in the podcast about how much I like BioShock Infinite, but I actually don't like the ending of it. I'm not going to spoil the ending. Well, there's multiple endings, so I guess you can go different ways with this, but the relationship that forms between Booker, who is the main character, your character, basically, and then Elizabeth, who is like she's a very powerful psychic person that has all kinds of interesting powers, and she's also a kind of princess in a tower, very naive, and you are trying to get her out of this dystopian place that she thinks is a good place and educating her, and she grows and changes, and that changes Booker, and he grows, and they get to a place at the end where I think in a lot of ways Elizabeth surpasses him in ways that I find really satisfying and interesting and crunchy and good. And then the ending just destroys all that and makes it really bad.
Okay.
There's a real, like, we've talked on the podcast before about like dad games. There's a real like father-daughter vibe between the characters. And if people have played it, they're like, why aren't you just saying, but like the energy between them is very like, he's mentoring her because she doesn't know anything about the world. And by the end of it, she's kind of mentoring him about what's even possible in terms of changing who you are or redemption, these themes that we were just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't like about the game is the conclusion that a lot of these games, these dad games, come to, that the best thing that any father can do, especially fathers for daughters, is to not exist. That there is no good father, that there are only bad fathers trying to do their best is the best that you can do. And that being a father means that you hurt everyone around you all the time.
Interesting.
And it's such a weird artistic stance to take. It's such a, what it honestly is like a cop out, it's like a renunciation of responsibility, I think, as a human being, to be like, well, I'm a man, so I can't actually care about people. It's not possible. Is such a fucking weird hill to die on, literally. That I don't know why you would bother making art that is like the bottom line, the thing that you're trying to deliver to people is like men bad, men irredeemable. It's like, yeah, men hurt people, women hurt people, and there's more to life than that, I think. So it just sucks that I think that everything about that game is really interesting and well done, and the writing is complex and full of interesting themes, and then the ending just ruins it for me. So it's a bummer.
It was really hard not to make a joke about how men are irredeemable.
Yeah. I mean, I get
dads
it.
Especially.
I get it. But when you're the guy making the art, I don't know. Like, why?
No, it would have been a joke.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, we're friends. You're a guy, like.
I get it. Kill all men. I get it. It's, I've said it myself.
I have like 3 other men that I'm friends with. I don't know. There aren't that many, honestly.
Yeah, me neither. I'm not, because I know that all men can do is hurt you, so I'm not friends with them. But
it's not even that for me. It's just that, like, oh, that's so weird, actually. One of my guy friends is leftover from high school. Leftover is a bad way to put it, but like, nice. I've known him since high school.
Yeah.
And there was another one, but he stopped responding to our text messages. So, we stopped inviting him to things. And then one is like a friend's husband.
Okay.
I guess I like Francis, but he's in England.
Yep. Yeah. He's a good guy.
We should send him that clip.
He's all right.
Yeah. Oh, and my uncle, he lives here. I have another uncle who I just had to cut off.
Right? Oh yeah, I know about that one. Yeah.
That's fun. He doesn't live here, so it made it easy. Yeah, that's the men that I speak to on a regular basis. I have some coworkers, but I don't consider that like relationships of any kind.
Well, I think it's hard. One of the things that art can do is just give us examples of things that are possible, and if all the art keeps telling men this is the only way that you can exist and the only way that you are, like, it's one of the major problems of patriarchy, because like one of the upsides of patriarchy for women is that you can rebel against it. Like there's this whole narrative of feminism and be like, well, I'm a different, like patriarchy says to be this and I go against it. That's not a thing.
But that's still letting patriarchy make up your mind for you.
For sure.
Yeah, sure.
A reaction to it. But there is no thing like that for men, other than I guess if you're gay or something. But like, even then, I think you get captured by it. But there's just no counter narrative is what
it's definitely more complicated well, it's more complicated.
I don't want to bemoan it. Be like, oh, poor man, we have no opportunities. Yeah. That's not true. But like,
but like whenever women bring up feminism, there's a lot of men who will say, well, men suffer too. And I'm like, yeah, because we have a patriarchal society. Mm-hmm. Like, who do you think's in charge right now? Like,
right.
You are suffering. We're not saying you're not. We're saying we're all suffering.
Yeah. The system sucks. There's just less of a way out of it, I think, for men.
I disagree with that, right now, but let's not get into this argument.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we have the power to change it, and you don't. But yeah, there's just no model, is what I'm saying. Well, are there very few models in this? So maybe it's just not commercially viable. I don't know. You could make something and people would be like, I'm not buying this stupid story.
I do kind of think that's the thing. Yeah. Or at least that's what they want you to think. That's why games get attacked as woke garbage and that sort of thing.
It was like woke garbage until the last 5 minutes, and then I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. So
that's fun. So speaking about men that we hate, I'm going to talk about Solus from Dragon Age. Now, if you like Solus, just don't listen. Because I do not think that man has a single redeemable hair on his head. Ha ha ha.
That's good.
So just turn off now. Like I genuinely, if you like Solus and you think his romance is a good romance, unless you think your Inquisitor is just going to be evil with him and take over the world, which that's fine. That's fair. Be evil together, become gods, take over the world. Gotcha. But if you think that you're just going to be good people together, I genuinely think that you as a real person have been a victim of his lies and manipulations.
You're in a cult. You gotta get out.
Like,
get some help.
So you can't. So just don't listen if you like him. That's what I'm saying, because you'll just get angry at me. But he's a genuinely bad person who lies to himself about being a good person. And I'm going to spoil all of Veilguard here. All of it. So in Inquisition, and Inquisition, but that one's old. I don't know, whatever. He lies and uses you throughout all of Inquisition. Every bad thing that happens is his fault. Like he gave the orb to Corypheus. He woke up and was like, I want to bring down the veil, but I can't. I'm not powerful enough because I've been out of it for so long. So I'm going to find this other evil dude and let him do it. And of course, that guy's like, actually, I want power for me.
Yeah, who could have seen that?
Yeah, who could have seen that coming? And
I will say, when you find all this out, though, it is an extremely cool moment. That it was yeah. Whoa.
Yes. No, I should say this. Solus is extremely well written.
He's a great character.
I would not hate him as much if it was bad writing. No. He is extremely well written, well done, well thought out, I think. Just evil.
Yeah, he's really bad.
Extremely messed up. I don't know. Anyways, so then, whether or not you romanced him, at the end of Trespasser, he takes your arm so that you don't die. That's nice, but he does keep the arm. Weird. I couldn't find this, but I swear when you're going through some of his stuff or whatever in Veilguard, you can find the Inquisitor's arm. Like in a case. I swear that that's a thing, but maybe I'm making that up. Maybe I might be misremembering something there. Because I tried Googling it and I couldn't find corroborating evidence. Mm-hmm. So, but I'm pretty sure he keeps it. Anyways, then he does not speak to you for 10 years.
Yep.
Even if you romanced him. And let's not even talk about taking your Valislen, sure, he says it's a slave mark and he's going to take it from you. But like within modern day elven culture, that's messed up.
It doesn't mean what it used to mean.
It doesn't mean what it used to mean. And I think what that means is that an elf inquisitor can never go back to their clan. Right. Or at least it'll be really weird and complicated if they do. Like, it's just another bit of him doing what he thinks is right without thinking about consequences. And that's kind of his problem. He always thinks that he's right. He thinks that he is the good guy, which is the best kind of villain, right? He thinks that everything that he's doing is for justice and right. Because at one point he was kind of doing some good things. He had a good idea. Anyways, whatever.
Kind of. Yeah.
Like when he was rebelling against... but that was after...
Titans and stuff.
Yeah, no, that was after when he was rebelling against... what's that other elven god? The bad guy in Veilguard.
Oh, I can't think of it. Yeah, I don't Gillenane and then...
Gillenane and the other one.
Yeah.
The other one is what I'm trying to think of. Whatever, it's gone for me. When he was rebelling against them to free their slaves, that was good-ish. But as you see in his flashbacks, he made some real choices during all of that were not all great.
Elgranon,
yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Anyways, so you also find out in Veilguard that he stole the magic from the Titans and basically killed them, thereby creating the Blight, which has killed thousands upon thousands of people. He murdered Mythal for power. He murdered Varric, his friend, and then he lies to you and affects your brain into thinking Varric is still alive for the entire game. Until the end, because that's a good way to manipulate you into doing what he wants you to do.
Right.
That's some shit, dude. And the game tries to say, but he has all this regret.
You don't keep doing things when you regret them. Like, we just talked about Cullen and how he actually changed.
Yeah.
And, like, this dude does not change. He just keeps doing it.
He just keeps doing the same shit. And he's trying to, the whole point of the game is that he's trying to take the veil down again, because when he put the veil up, it really ruined who and what the elves were. But that was thousands of years ago. And the elves have become something different now, and the world has become something different, and the veil has become something different, because if he lets it down, demons are going to invade, and a lot of other people are going to die. And he's always just like, I have a plan. I'll minimize the death. And like at one point, he's like, Varric is like, people are dying right now at the beginning. And then Solus was like, people are always dying. It's what they do. I was like, dude, what the fuck?
I think that's why that's why I hate him so much, because if he was like cynically lying to people and being like, well, I'm trying to do this thing for the greater good, but then actually he just wants to be like God or something, I would be like, okay, I get it. You know, you're lying to everybody, but he really does think that he
knows
plan.
Best.
Yeah. And he doesn't have a fucking plan, and he doesn't know best. And he's wrong again and again and again. Like, it is, his failures are the tragedies of world history. And he's like, but I can fix it. And that's the more infuriating thing, that he thinks that he knows best. I think.
Yeah.
We were just talking about patriarchy. I mean, Solus is patriarchy.
Yep.
Like,
yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, it's so maddening. I hate him so much. And like, he never shows any real remorse for murdering Varric and then using Varric.
Yeah, of course not. It's just another stepping stone. Yeah.
And like, if you do a couple things in Veilguard at the end, you can have the Inquisitor come out, whether it's friendship or romance, and convince him to choose to go into the Fade prison and keep the veil up using his own like life or whatever, however that works. And if the Inquisitor is romanced, the Inquisitor can go with him into the jail for eternity. Except the Inquisitor is not immortal like he is. Yeah. So for the rest of the Inquisitor's life. And then there they are in the prison of regret together forever, keeping the veil up. What?
Be like, do you want to see your arm? I cut it. It's over here.
Again, I don't know if that's correct. And like, if he actually felt regret about the things that he had done, he would not be trying to bring down the veil. He would be trying to restore the Titans.
Yeah.
Because that was his first like real big genocide, when he cut the dwarves off from their magic and created the Blight all in one go.
Yeah, or he would like listen to people and be like, what would make the world better?
Ask the modern elves what would make their lives better and what he can do for them, and not be like, I know what'll make it better.
Right.
Demons.
It's crazy. It's really, it's wild to me that he is not like the final boss of Dragon Age or something. Yeah. Like, I don't like, man.
I will say, I think it is poorly written, but the best ending for me is the trick him ending, where you trick him with the fake dagger. Again, the fake dagger makes no sense, comes out of nowhere. There's no reason for it to exist. That was extremely poor writing. But what's good writing is where you're trying to say he's just like Elgernon, and he's like, no, I won a battle of wits against you, not like I took over by force. This was fair and square.
Yeah.
And then, but you've given him the fake dagger, so then he ends up in the prison because of that, and you're like, I guess I won that battle of wits. I don't remember what the actual lines are, but it's so good because he has that line, and then you get to turn it back on him.
You beat him in his own game. That is
yes, that is good. And I love that so much. And I mean, the punch him in the face ending is great too. But the trick, that's what hurts him the most, I would say. And then he kind of laughs at himself as he goes into the prison. But, you know, I do wish now. I am actually sick of Solus, so I don't mean this, but a way that I could get behind his romance is if they hadn't put it in Inquisition and were saving it for like the next game. Not that we're getting a next game. This is like fantasy world.
Right.
And where he actually did have some remorse about what he had done and was trying to make things better and decided to change. And like if he became a companion then and was just like maybe he's locked away all of his god powers and he's just a lowly wizard now, you know, or mage or whatever they call them. And he just wants to do some good.
It would be hard to walk him back from, he's never had remorse.
So no, it would be hard. But like that I could get behind if there was something, if they had just kind of done that all differently and his romance was after all of this. I think that would be a very interesting arc for him. But they didn't, and it's dumb. And I hate him. Or it's not dumb. Like I said, it's well written. I mean, the Inquisitor choosing to go into the Fade with him at the end is fucking stupid.
That's crazy. That doesn't make
After
any sense.
10 years of not talking to him.
Yeah.
How, and
that's crazy.
Like the romance scenes with him are not all that. Like there's not that many of them in Inquisition. So I personally do not believe that the Inquisitor is still attached after 10 years.
No. Not the way I played an Inquisitor. They wouldn't be. No.
No.
Not even the ones that chose to romance him. They wouldn't. They would be like, what? And I get it. You know, people. It's fun. You know, to play
again, unless you're into being evil with him. If you're into being evil with him, absolutely. Please take over the world for the elves. I get it, 100%. But if you think he's a good guy, no, that I don't get at all.
He's so bad. I hate him so much. I just hate the character. Like, I don't understand how he's not, like I said, the final. Like, if I could kill him, that would be great. But yeah, that doesn't seem to be what they want to do with that character. And I get it. It kind of makes sense because why, if he's so compelling, why get rid of him? But
well, the ending, you never finished Veilguard, right?
I haven't finished it. Yeah.
Right. So somebody needs to go into that prison to keep the veil up.
I get it. Whatever.
And it is. And like there's no ending where it's not Solus. There's just different ways of getting it to be Solus.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to have like the big, you know, like Sephiroth fight against him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
that's fair.
That would be satisfying. I want everybody there. I want like, you know, the hero of Ferelden and the Inquisitor, and I want like get the Avengers together and we can all kill him. That would be great.
Man, I'm sad we don't have that game where all your main characters get to fight together.
Team up. They would hate each other, but it would be cool.
I don't understand the choice of never bringing back the hero of Ferelden. Like, I get that she didn't have a voice, but like, you can cast someone.
Yeah.
I said she, they, you know, she or he, whatever you want.
Yeah, whatever.
You can cast, like, we'll understand. Whatever.
Well, he's off raising the son of Morgan in my world. So he's like baking cookies and teaching him algebra. And,
but like it would have been, because in Veilguard, you end the Blight. The Blight is no more.
Right.
And there's a lot of stuff with, I'm spoiling the shit out of this game, but whatever. And you have a lot of stuff with the Wardens. And it would have been nice to see what the hero Ferelden and Alistair, if they're both alive,
what they're doing. Yeah.
And like what they've thought about that. Because in Inquisition, you sort of get a letter from the hero Ferelden where they're off trying to find a cure for the calling, I think. Not the Blight, but the calling. And it would have been interesting to see what they think of all that.
Yeah, I agree though. Solus is a bad guy, and his place in fandom is a little confusing to me.
I do not understand why so many people love him and love that romance. It doesn't make any sense to me. And I have had to mute things on social media so that I see less of it, because it makes me actively angry and think less of people. If somebody did listen to this whole rant who loves Solus, please try to explain it to me. But I'll never understand. Anyways, that's our favorite and least favorite relationships. Join us next time for our season 1 finale, which we have not yet decided what we're talking about.
We have no idea what to do.
No, the real question is, in season 2, do we switch? Do you do the odd numbers and I do the even numbers?
Maybe
or will that be weird?
That. Yeah. We might have to do that to see how the editing falls. Yeah.
All right. You can follow the show on Blue Sky at Inferior Gaming, or you can follow me on Blue Sky at Inferior Caitlin. Reach out to both if you want to try to convince me about Solus. But do be warned, I have muted the hashtag Solus. Possibly also his name on Blue Sky because I just kept getting so many people in love with him. So maybe just call him S.
Yeah. I've actually blocked images of eggs for that reason also. So you can't even see him.
But in a more serious manner, tell us who your favorite relationships, romance or not, in games are. And point me. I'm always looking for good relationship. Again, romance, yes, but I like friendships too in games. So point us in the right direction there. Give us your recommendations. You
can send us an email about how Cortana got her name at inferiorgamingpod@gmail.com. Or you can fill out the form at hollowedgroundmedia.com down at the bottom of the page.
And remember, Solus is the worst. No argument.
Case closed.
I feel like with the side of ship whatever you want, I don't care.